Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're well. We are at quite a smoky, dense Calgary airport today here on Microsoft Flight Simulator. Good afternoon, or indeed good morning, and good evening, wherever you're based in the world. Sam MPS Gaming, welcome guys. Badger, Ian, Rab, hello folks. David, good afternoon. Ian85 as well. Hope you're well, buddy. David, who else we got? Evil Asar, welcome. And everybody else in the live chat joining us for today's Delta Airlines PMDG 737-900ER service down to the new Salt Lake City Airport scenery for MSFS. Flight time of about, well, just shy of 2 hours, and it looks like we've got a good lineup today with plenty of folk ready to go here. At Calgary, the new FSimStudios Calgary International Airport scenery, released about a month ago for MSFS. Michael, welcome. Chinook as well, hello to you. Chris Packett, welcome. So there we are. It's been a long time since we've last kind of flown this extended version of the 737, the super stretched 737, I suppose you could call it as well. Rab, hello buddy, look at that view. It's been with us for 6 months, thank you very much. Time sure flies when you're having fun, so it's awesome months on the best sim community already. Very nice to hear, thank you mate. And Tim, how are you? Hope you're well. The sun looks fantastic, doesn't it? Kind of firing through that haze of smoke. John, good morning mate. We will put the METAR command into the live chat for you guys. CYYC. For the ICAO codes. Gimme Shelter's asking about the DC Designs Concorde. No, not until the INS goes in really. And then I need to try and relearn it again entirely. So in the live chat then with Nightbot, you can see the Calgary META as of 1100 Zulu. Winds currently 240 degrees at 3 knots, 5 statute mile visibility in smoke. Scattered cloud 13,000 feet. Temperatures 15 degrees Celsius, dew point plus 9 degrees Celsius, and altimeter 3010. Couple of remarks on the META. The one that's kind of really standing out is that density altitude of 4,300 feet. So, what does that mean? In effect, this airport is at basically a mean sea level, wherever it's at an elevation of 3,600 feet, kind of rounded to the nearest 100 value. But the pressure here, with the air density being 4,300 feet as a density altitude, means the engines have got to work as if they are operating at 4,300 feet, not 3,600 feet. So Calgary's already quite high up for an airport elevation. The density, the air today, means that it is actually making the aeroplane feel like it's even higher. There's a heart in the chat, always. So we are here on stands. We've got some custom views set up and this lovely Delta Airlines cabin as well. David A, good morning, and Carlito, welcome. Look at this. Very snazzy. GSX was updated yesterday. We spoke about it yesterday as well. Very confusing changelog though. We were missing the changelog in fact, but what they've done is they've begun to install the people ready for those passengers in the cabin in flight to be added in effectively, but they're not yet visible. Hence that massive update. But a really whopper of a really incredible cabin, isn't it? Really, really good work. Look at that. A little bit 737 MAX 8-esque in the ceiling too. Custom carpet. I mean, that carpet's fantastic. Of all the things to point out. But yeah, looking really good. And a company minor there. Right. Into the business end. Ian, nice. Just on the way into Bergen Frostspray. Very good. Passenger entry is meant to be jetty there, but GSX is just doing its thing. I will leave it to do that. Let's look at the charts, shall we? So, we are currently at stand 91 at Calgary. sure I write that down. In this little cul-de-sac here, we're going to push and start, and then we're going to taxi out Bravo Charlie, and then we're going to head down Bravo all the way to the hold point for runway 35 right. There's a slight tailwind for us today, and also with the airport elevation there of 3,570, we're going to be pushing the aeroplane for this departure. Now, the runway length is 4,267 meters. That's huge. Really, really long runway here at Calgary, which is great for us because of the elevation, but also that density altitude that we referred to a moment ago, meaning that even at our current weight in the 737 of, what is it? Let's see, 70.2 tons roughly. We are probably going to use most of that runway. Likely where it says C and B here for these kind of like this indication here near Delta 6 and Zulu, that's likely where we're going to lift off. So we're going to use all of that runway today. If we were taking off from a version of Calgary that's at 0 feet, for example, though, then it wouldn't be this difficult for the aeroplane's engines. But alas, we are at 3,560 feet above sea level, and the density of the air around us means that actually it's like trying to fly from 4,300 feet instead. Once we're airborne though on the Cowboy 2 departure, yeehaw, we're going to head initially outbound runway heading just for a few hundred foot, and then we're going to do a climbing right turn on track 360 degrees heading around that Calgary VOR there with vectors basically to our en route transition waypoint, which is, for the purpose of today, Upval, which is that one there. And that's 29.2 miles on a 165 radial from the Calgary VOR 116.7. Should be good. En route though, we'll be climbing away all the way through onto the States, into the States airspace to Dubois, or Dubois, however it's pronounced, that NDB there, and then entering the star for the Nordic 6 arrival into Salt Lake City. Not flown in here before, should be quite nice, looking forward to it. We'll find out what it's like in a little while. We've got the Luke Air tool for our cabin announcements as well, of course, so we can get rather nice, although very American, safety demonstration from Delta. Oh, David. That sounds like my attempts if I start to do all that sort of stuff with computers as well. My goodness, I hope you get it sorted soon. Cruise flight level 350. And we've already done the descent forecast, and using that .wx file, we've loaded in our en route winds as well, relevant to us today. So initially outbound with vectors then. With that, I'm going to pop in that VOR that we mentioned for Calgary 1167. We'll pop that in like so. And then we had that outbound radial, didn't we? 165. So we will spin the wheel. And what that's going to do is give us this really nice big green reference point. So we know where the VOR is, that's the symbol there. As we head outbound, we can then vector ourselves back to Calgary if we want to, or we can zip across all the way down to, well, direct to Upval. But either way, we'll be intercepting this green line at some point, either at the VOR or just before it. With that in mind though, speaking about weights and things, we're 70.4 tons. 63.2 tons for the zero fuel weight, reserves of 2.2, cost index of 13 today, following Delta's real world figures. With a slight tailwind and being quite high up, we are going to push the engines with everything they've got today. 27k toga takeoff, 102% N1. We will then revert to climb 2 profile to smooth out that climb. And flap 5 was actually giving us very narrow margins on 3.5 left. Because we're using 3.5 right, VAS Airplane Toolbox said that our weight exceeds the limits of the runway. Not ideal, but can't really get around that. So what we've done instead is I've decided to use flat 10 for takeoff, which would hopefully get us airborne that little bit sooner, without the stress of running out of runway, basically. So yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. Hope you're well. If you're new to the channel, warm welcome. Hit like and subscribe as well. Definitely give us a thumbs up if you are enjoying the stream. Helps me know what content you like and which bits you might not otherwise like to help form future content. Order completed. We've done our catering services and we're going to prepare for pushback and departure. So let's go to 1228. This is the first time, by the way, using the 737-900 and my Honeycomb Bravo throttles with the 737 configurations. So I'm hoping, folks, that it's all set up nicely. Otherwise, we're going to have an issue. 160s, 146 V2, at the 10, 156, initial climb 7,000, heading 360 or 000. And we've got that, we'll stick it on 30 for the bank angle limiters. Right, what else have we got? Oh yes, let's get the APU on. Being super efficient, we'll only turn it on just before we push. How are we doing? Your damper needs to go on as well now. Lights and signs. Elevation and pressure. Cruise is set. Backs are off. And we'll wait for that APU to fire up. We'll wait for this blue light to go on. Oh yeah. Maybe end of August perhaps. Caution, I'm not sure about the P3D version, buddy. Paul saying the Microsoft Flight Simulator summer sale is currently on. Some good deals, yeah, as Rab's saying there, the Just Flight 146, which we're flying on Sunday, by the way, folks. Definitely want to check that out. We'll be taking part in Orbex Fly July's giveaway. And if you fly along on the VATSIM network and fly along and track it on Valanta as well, you can then put your entries into Orbex's Discord and hopefully have a chance to win some of them tasty prizes. I say tasty, it's all flight sim related, you can't eat it, but you get the point. Yeah, the Just Flight 146 on sale at $39.99. It's really good price for that aeroplane. So that's all good. That's generating power. Let's get APU bleed on. Hydraulic pumps. Everything else is set. We've done our radios. I think it's time to push back, folks. We are on 1228. Let's clear the wheel chocks. Let's get the anti-collision lights on. Make sure New Sky is tracking. It is. Jolly good. And 0 fuel in the center tanks. So left and right, 1 and 2, forward and aft. All pumps go on. Lights extinguish. Let's push back. Unfortunately, no custom profiles for this or Salt Lake City, it seems, at the minute.
Traffic FedEx 1123 radio check.
So we'll see how we go.
5+5.
Right, there we go. Let's get the speakers on. Nose right, tail left. Nose right, tail. Yeah, I think that's going to be it. I always forget these things. Calgary traffic, Delta 37-900ER, stand 91, I think it is. Push and start in the cul-de-sac.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
METAR. See what I see. Altimeter 3011 now, folks. We've got to change that. There we go. That's all done. Okay, packs off. APU bleed is on. Engine 2. Start selector to ground.
Calgary traffic, Air Canada 784 radio check.
Bernie, I think it's a good option for certainly for training, and if you're trying to learn, you're trying to step into VATSIM, perhaps that might be the perfect thing for you.
Calgary traffic, Osprey 27 Juliet Mike, stand 79, pushback, and start
packs on automatic, my
facing
bad.
north.
Okay, now
Calgary
we're starting. N2's rising.
In Calgary traffic, Osprey 2472 is pushing back to the stand
Yeah,
88,
not
and we'll be
sure
facing to
what
the
we're going to get with
Calgary
this
traffic.
pushback, unfortunately, because it is a default GSX pushback. There's no custom profile for it. Just have to see how it works.
Calgary Clover is pushing back from
Yeah, it
stand
looks
88.
alright, to be fair.
Don't look at your wing.
Look at the
please.
size of that aeroplane. It's such a
I
long
think it should be clear.
737, isn't it? It's insane. Such a big aeroplane, and it is so easy to tell strike one of these. Unreal how easy it is, like ATR level of unreal almost. So we're gonna have our work cut out for us. A smooth rotation on the takeoff to ensure no tail strikes. GSX doing a good job. Look at that. Auto ignition on this Delta 737. That's good. So we've got that set already. Don't need to worry about that too much. Engine 1. And we will begin the safety demonstration in a moment. Just make sure I've got my taxi charts ready. There they are. 320. Fuel control lever to run. Sam says I chicken out of the 900 because I always tail strike it. But you know what? Keep at it, and eventually something will click and you'll be fine. Basically, don't exceed 7 degrees pitch on the rotation, but aim for a nice smooth rotation. Dragonic, hello to you. Did the A320 yesterday after a long time. Forgot to turn on the AP bleed to start the engines. Big off.
Gate 89 after the Osprey behind.
That's the thing, because when we're flying in the flight sim, we're flying all these different aeroplanes, all these different variants and types, and with all these different systems and everything else. And we've kind of got to be what's that saying? Like a master of all. What's it? Oh, I can't think of the ruddy saying now. Jack of all trades, master of none. There we go. That's probably a good way of describing it, to be fair, isn't it? Flight simming. We've got to be able to operate a lot of these aeroplanes as best as we can. Not necessarily incredibly well, but that's because we're dipping in and out of things like the Mad Dog, to the BA146, to the 737, to the A320, to the Dreamliner, to the Cessna 172. Absolute carnage. Right, they're both on. Recirc fans automatic, packs on automatic, isolation valve is closed, or actually on auto. In fact, APU bleed is off, engine 1 and 2 bleeds on. Probe heat is on automatic, we'll leave that set there. One less thing for us to worry about. APU generators are off. Gen 1 and 2 producing power. And let's get the APU off now as well. Lights, signs, taxi lights on, flaps 10. Good, that's where we're set. Yeah, flaps 10. Trim 3.48.
Calgary traffic, Osprey
Out there.
right,
It's a really high nose trim actually.
facing
Interesting.
east.
Hopefully that's not going to cause us a problem. On the system page then, we've only got hydraulic indications there. We're going to go fully right on the stick, back to neutral, all the way left, back to neutral, all the way to the rear. Let's start the safety demo with the Luke Air tool. Hopefully you can hear that, folks. And look at that snappiness of the MSFS rudder pedals. Can't get away from that, so I always do a couple of little wiggles and then some really gentle ones just to get full range. There we are.
We do welcome you aboard.
Flaps 10 and green. Anti-skid is not showing a failure. All the brakes set, RTO. Flight directors are on. We're going to have heading mode selected, VNAV, auto thrusts, 165 for the course, radios set. Let's taxi. Brakes off. I've got the Thrustmaster Boeing yoke, KF. Can you hear the safety demonstration, folks? Hopefully it's a good level of volume. Calgary traffic, Delta 37-900ER, altimeter 3011, taxiing to Hull Point Bravo, runway 35 right via Bravo Charlie and Bravo Calgary. Nine in the train today, whoop whoop.
Amazing differences.
Calgary traffic, Osprey 2472.
Here we go.
Runway 35 right, via Echo, Alpha,
I
Echo,
love the
and
PMDG
Bravo.
737.
Runway 35 right,
Wherever you're going.
Calgary traffic.
We are proud to fly you there.
Because
On Skywest 569 Charlie,
It's so
push it back off stand 94 behind.
It is still a firm favourite.
thanks for flying with Delta.
Our first priority on every flight is the safety of our customers and crew.
Stand
So, before we
84,
Please pay
stand
attention
89
to this
here. I'm going
important
to be pushing
safety
back.
message. Be sure that all carry-on items are securely stowed in an overhead bin, and place smaller items, including handbags, under the seat in front of you. If you lose your electronic device in your seat, please do not adjust your seat and ask a crew member.
Nice,
for
we've got a
assistance.
CRJ
Please
flying on
ensure
today.
all
This is a
aisles,
real-world
exits,
Delta
and bulkhead areas
route, but it's done by
As we
Sky
navigate,
West
make
in
sure your seatbelt
the
is fastened.
Embraer
To
E-Jets.
fasten, insert the metal tip
In
into
fact,
the buckle
but
and
we're
then
being a little
strap it
creative with it.
to the
Juliet Mike,
Engine instruments all good, let's clear that.
Juliet,
If you're seated in
Bravo
the business class
for holding
cabin,
point
secure your
runway
shoulder
35
harness by
right,
attaching the metal
Calgary
tip to the
traffic.
fitting
Yeah, but I
on the
don't mind
belt.
that
To release,
wing
remove
flex
the
thing.
metal tip and allow the shoulder harness to retract. Please remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened anytime the seatbelt sign is on. And even if the sign is off, please keep your seatbelt fastened in case we experience unexpected rough air.
For everyone's safety, federal regulations
Be quite hazy for
require
departure
all
today.
passengers to comply with the
Paul
posted
says the
placards
737-900 is
and
almost as
information
big as the
signs located throughout
A330.
the
What are
cabin, in
the
addition to
dimensions
any
for a
crew member's
difference? I'm
instructions.
interested to compare the two now.
Smoking, including the use of e-cigarettes, is not allowed on any Delta flight, and federal
Straight
law
over here.
prohibits tampering with,
Ground
disabling, or destroying
12535 if they were online, but they're not.
There
Lovely
are 8
signage
exits
there
on
shows us
this
that.
plane,
And we're turning
8
right on
doors,
Bravo, but left is
4
clear.
on each side. Each door has
Right is clear.
used as a raft. All exits are clearly marked with an exit sign. However, if there's a loss of power and cabin visibility is reduced, lights will illuminate the aisles to guide you to an exit.
Please note that exit signs on this airplane identify each exit with a green symbol. Arrows indicate the direction to the exit. Locate the exit nearest you using these green symbols. Keeping in mind the nearest
If you want to
exit
buy this
might be
Calgary
behind
Airport
you.
scenery, by the
In
way,
event
folks,
of
you'll
an
find the link to it
evacuation,
in
leave
the
all
description for
carry-on
today's
items
live
behind.
stream.
It's unlikely, but if
Air
cabin
Canada's
pressure
doing the
changes,
good old
panels above your seat
moonwalk
will open,
pushback.
revealing oxygen masks. If this happens, reach up and pull the
Shut
mask
up.
or red streamer towards you until the tube is fully
Good
extended.
old
Place the
GSX.
mask over your nose and mouth, slip the elastic strap over your head, and adjust the mask if necessary.
Calgary traffic, FedEx
Philip, hello, buddy.
1123, taxiing
Good
35
question.
left,
No, I
via
don't actually, to
Alpha.
be honest. I like to actually click them inside the flight deck, but they are all set up to work
Just in case,
nicely
life
with
vests
it.
are
I
located
just
under
for some
your
reason
seats
don't
the
have
main
it in my
cabin.
flow of
If you're seated
way
in
to
the
do. Like I said,
business
they are a little
class or
fiddly.
Delta Premium Select cabin, life vests are located either in a compartment
I think because I've got
adjacent
used to
your
actually
seat or
clicking
under
the
your
switches
armrest.
inside the virtual
To
cockpit,
use, remove
I'll
the vest
I'll
from its
aim
container by pulling on the tab and then
basically
opening
avoid
the pouch.
using the
Slip
panels,
the vest
otherwise I have
over
to
your
look
head.
away from the
Wrap
aircraft a
strap
bit
around your waist
too
and
much.
attach it to the buckle in front and adjust securely around your waist. As you leave the plane, inflate the vest by pulling down on the red tab at the bottom of the vest or manually
Calgary
inflate it
traffic,
by
Osprey
pulling into the
2472 is
button.
holding an echo for the taxiing Delta.
Well, there
Alpha.
goes that screenshot that I was going to take.
Life vests for children weigh 35 pounds.
Fantastic.
Now,
Oh,
before
there we
we
go.
take off,
And
ensure your
down with
seat
a
is
bang.
upright and your tray
How
table is
about
put away.
that?
If you're seated in the business class cabin, ensure your suite
Zoom,
door is
zoom.
open. Please note
That's
there's
a wicked
placard on the
screenshot.
door, visible when open,
And
explaining how to use the suite door
snap.
in case of an emergency. If you're
Gotcha.
seated in the main cabin, ensure your aisle armrests are lowered, and in the Delta Premium Select cabin, ensure your aisle armrests are raised.
As we come through the
I'll put them on
cabin for our final
Discord
safety
as well,
check, please
and on
remember
Calgary
Valanta,
traffic,
of
Osprey
course.
2472 is
And
continuing to
finally,
taxi
now
on
would be a
Bravo
good time for
behind the
everyone to
Delta
review the
aircraft.
safety information card,
Calgary
which is in
traffic.
your seat pocket.
As we span this amazing world of ours, we celebrate all that connects us. Thank you for choosing Delta to be a part of your journey.
Now, as we get ready for takeoff, please sit back, settle in, and have a wonderful flight. Thank you for flying with Delta.
There's the de-icing zone. That is the safety demonstration. Have a quick look at my checklist to make sure I've not forgotten anything here. Done all that, done all that. Done those.
Calgary traffic, Air Canada 784. The Osprey in front of me, you can push back. I'm going to wait
None
for
of
you
the
to push
alarm
back.
does required all the throttle alarm, rolling recall, check and consider low ACAM screen off. So that's the one I haven't clicked there. That's fine, we'll do that now.
Calgary traffic, Osprey 121 Alpha, taxiing to holding point stream side right. From stand 8.
Not yet, Rishi. Don't need traffic avoidance on the ground.
Must be safe.
Size of that thing. Yeah, with that extra length, a lot of the length is actually at the back as well, so super easy to tell straight. Carlos, yes, lukeairtool.net. That's the one. How are we doing? Long old taxi. Almost there though. We've got Romeo coming up. That's this taxiway here. We're going past that and then it's the second left. No, third left in fact. Bernie, yeah, they're not here yet, buddy. So the update from GSX was really confusing. Confused pretty much everybody, in fact, because we were all downloading people in the cabin, yet there are no people in the cabin. It turns out they just didn't add it in the changelog. They said eventually when they were asked that, in short, they wanted to have a slow trickle of files, so they wanted to start to install all the files necessary for the passengers in the cabin in the background across a number of updates in preparation for what's it called, the actual go live date of those people in the cabin, if that makes sense. Gimme Shout says, it just occurred to me I flew on one of the Delta 900s from Vegas to New York last month. It was a tight squeeze compared to the A330. That took me back to Heathrow from JFK thereafter. Nice.
Bravo from runway 35 right via Echo Alpha, Echo
Well, I don't
Bravo.
think you can.
Traffic.
In fact, I'm pretty certain you can't, because you need to run their installer to make sure it's all set up properly. Tish, I used to do that, but then I found that scenery, for example, is so subjective that my top 10 might be nowhere near your top 10. So I tend to kind of stray away from some of those. They're a little bit clickbaity as well. I tend to kind of try and stick away from those as best as I can, really. So weather at the moment. Winds are now calm at Calgary, 0 knots according to Volanta. Sorry, not Navigraph. Morning Clipper. We'll do another update. There it is, look, winds calm. It's 5 statute miles in smoke. Few clouds, 9,400 feet. So that's dropped quite a bit now. Altimeter 3011 and still got remarks there. Density altitude's dropped now, it's 4,100 feet, so it's going to ease off a little bit of pressure on the engines, but only a very, very marginal amount, to be fair. Now if this obviously was kind of Dubai temperature, then it's basically, if you've heard of hot and high performance before, the 757 particularly good at handling hot and high. Airbus not so much, weirdly, but that is kind of what this is all about as well. This is high but not hot today at Calgary. Okay, at the hold checks, final master caution and warning checks. We're going to go fuel flow, reset rate, down on the bottom, spin the wheel, transponder TARA, traffic mode on, back up, runway turn off lights on, landing lights on. We're going to pop the strobes to strobe and steady, and a final chime to the crew. Seats for takeoff. 2 hours, Paul. Block time, so gate to gate. That's all good. We're briefed for our departure. The people are very creepy, yes, with GSX. Calgary traffic Delta 3798 via Bravo, lining up runway 35 right and taking off Cowboy 2 departure, direct upval transition. Calgary traffic. Okay, so control visualizer is active on the bottom left of your screens. We'll keep the aircraft rolling, because that just helps actually with a little bit of performance. We're going to get the stick forwards to help nose wheel pressure before we get the rudder authority. Need a little bit of nose wheel steering. Aviator, yep. You keep repeating yourself there, buddy. Round we go, passing flight level 280 for RAV. Okay, 40%. Engines are stable. Make sure we've centered the nose wheel before we start to throw in the power. Toga. My goodness, look at the haze. Toga takeoff. Leads alive. Power set.
In Calgary traffic, Osprey 2472 will line up off Bravo to runway 35 right and give Tim
we've got loads of space here.
Expecting the Cowboy 2 departure and then direct up Val.
Look how much runway we're using, folks. 3,600 feet up. Density altitude 4,300. Rotate.
VATSIM 1745 taxiing to 35 right via Bravo Tower, Bravo, holding flight Bravo, Calgary traffic.
And we're up. Nice and smooth. Positive rate gear up. Real smooth on the rotation there. And we've got it trimmed nicely, so I've actually let go of the controls now because I want to dive out here real quick, grab the screenshot. Look at that. Okay, next. Flaps 5. Through flaps 1. And we'll start a manual turn. Bringing the nose down. Still hand flying, folks. Flaps up. Looking across, CMD A engage, heading mode, VNAV, auto thrust, gear lever off, runway turn off lights off, and auto brake set off. Job's good and start a right turn. Look at that. Can you imagine a flight sim that has this density of smoke and things like that around? It's just remarkable, isn't it? Was that 7,000? I think it was, wasn't it? So let's just, sorry folks, we need to quickly keep scrolling the wheel. 3.5 wasn't it for cruise? That's set 3.5. Good. I'm going to go legs, up val, execute, LNAV. Aeroplane's got the con. Oh yes, look at that.
In Calgary traffic, Osprey 2472 rolling runway 35 on the Cowboy 2 departure.
Andrew says with this route you should be basically flying down the ridgeline of the Rocky Mountains. I'm not sure actually, I haven't looked at it too much to be honest. That could be a great shout though, I might have to have a little look in a moment. Imagine the smell of the fog to the passengers at the moment, the air conditioning feeding the air through the bleed air from the engines. So really good livery this, incredible livery. It's part of a big livery pack for Delta on flightsim.to for the 737-900s. But yeah, what a remarkable view this is. Look at that, Calgary just through the smoke there. Really amazing. Coming up to 10,000, landing lights off. We're going to be flying nice and straight now, so we'll pop the fasten seatbelt signs off and through 10,000. Make sure the cabin is pressurising. Normally it is. Jolly good. After takeoff checks and our climb checks are all complete.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we climb to our cruising altitude, we'd like to extend a special thank you to each of you and a welcome back to our SkyMom members and
yeah, Flight Sim has come a long way.
And loyalty are greatly appreciated.
Look how spectacular that looks.
For your safety, it's important
Calgary traffic, Osprey, Fahrenheit, taxi to runway
Even if the sign is off,
Calgary's CBD down below. Let's see if we can catch that in a bit more of a nicer way. Look at that.
Remember to use caution if opening the overhead bins to prevent injury from articles that may have shifted during takeoff.
That's stunning! Luke Air Tool is free next time, so that's a big bonus.
Electronic devices. And a listing of these devices can be
There's
found
Calgary
in Sky Magazine
City
in the seat pocket
Centre.
in front of you.
I mean, if you were to rate that view out of 10, that's a 10 surely. This is flight simulation, it's insane.
Complimentary Coca-Cola products, Starbucks coffee, water, juices, a variety of complimentary snacks, as well as a selection of our fresh eats items and all-day goodies.
Razzie, basically just take your time, effectively.
Beer, wine, and spirits are available, complimentary for
Take time learning the aircraft and all that sort of stuff. Rishi, you've got to sign up to New Sky for the Osprey Airways, then you have to fly one flight with the New Sky Academy. And if you score above 6, then it means that you can apply for Osprey. But it does require manual approval, so every time somebody applies, I have to be able to click yes. And I'm not always able to monitor it permanently, so in fact I can see I've got a few waiting, so sorry to those of you who have been.
Left, Cowboy 2.
Personal entertainment system. On it, you can view a selection of complimentary as well as
Done.
on-demand
We're now at
TV shows,
433 pilots in our virtual airline.
You will find that this screen will work best with just a light tap of your fingertip. Feel free to use your own headsets. Otherwise, if
Oh yeah, Andrew, that's the
just let a flight attendant know they are your
that's the Rockies over there, isn't it, buddy? That's the ridgeline of the Rocky Mountains. David, it's 10,000 feet above ground level. So if you're, I mean, realistically today we didn't need to turn them off until like 13,000 feet, to be fair. But I did anyway. Clipper says the level of detail PMDG have put into their aircraft is wild. I love the small details like the coffee stain in the flight deck. Awesome, Rishi. Enjoy it. Let's keep the heading bug aligned with our path, and we are at the upval transition, making some good progress now en route. We're going to head through flight level 180, our classic, not our classic, I'm reading Depot Dolphins live chat message, through our transition altitude today, climbing up. Andre, it's lukeairtool.net freeway.
FedEx 1123, rolling 35 left, Cowboy 2 departure, runway heading.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh dear. It's the little things. Hello, Cornelius. Okay, standard pressure. Jolly good. Those of you who fly on Xbox, if you want to join our virtual airline, you can. Unfortunately, not via New Sky. You have to use FSHub.io. We've got a presence on there still, as well as a virtual airline system, but we effectively you have to manually file your pilot reports there instead, and then they will be automatically approved into the system. Andre, yes. So with the Luke Air tool, there's an announcements box, opens up a big menu, and you can select the airline that you might be operating with. So for today, Delta, and you can do pre-boarding, safety demonstration, climb to cruise, descent, and landing. Not all of the airlines have got announcements for them, unfortunately, which is a little bit of a downfall to it, but certainly some of the American ones have got a complete suite of cabin announcements there. Like Delta's. Delta's one of those. Tish, it most certainly is. Live time and live weather, folks. Hit that thumbs up if you're enjoying the view. Gracia, hello buddy. Intellect, can I join if I fly on Xbox? Yes, go to fshub.io and search for Osprey Airways on there. That's the only way to do it, really. Andrew says many people get mixed up with the Rocky Mountains. They run all the way through Canada near Jasper, Banff, Crow's Nest, all the way down the USA. The coastal mountains is Whistler, Vancouver, etc. Clipper says that that's always nice to hear. Always enjoy your narration too. You've got a very calming tone. Not much phases me, to be honest. But sometimes I worry I'm a little bit monotonous. My aviator, welcome. Rab's back in the citation longitude. Is Jet Central. True, when things go wrong, I think that's when the you can sense that the little blue vein on my forehead comes out through stress when I'm clicking things and breaking things like gravity extension by accident or in-flight engine shutdowns in the F-28. It's good to know that system works. Oh my goodness, yeah. Always got to do at least one chaotic stream a month, eh? Cloudybox, the yoke. Apart from the cheap feel of it, which is still disappointing, to be fair, given its price, the yoke itself, the physical function of the yoke, is really impressive. It saved me massively yesterday when I was doing it was almost a late flare actually in that Dreamliner in the 787, with a slight distraction on short final, but managed to check it and it reacted instantly to exactly where I wanted it to be, and it held the flare beautifully. So yeah, this Boeing yoke is continuing to impress me actually. It just feels tatty. That's the only thing. It feels a bit cheap, but the function of it is so impressive. Oh, Badger retro. I so wish we had one of those in MSFS. Good old Boeing 737-900ER. Top of climbing just over 40. Let's see how we're getting on over on Volanta. So, there's our little route for today. Calgary, and then pretty much south all the way to Salt Lake City. Never flown into Salt Lake City ever before, so looking forward to this actually. A different little section of the states that we've not yet ventured to. Those of you who want to do shorter hops, that's a good one. Denver to Salt Lake City and back, that could be great in the CLJ. Oh look, there's Cythera, 787-8. There we are, Badger's ahead of us in the 757. Oof, look at that, lovely. And Ian Osprey 2472, staying up late again, over in Perth. Representing Osprey, love it. Nice screenshots. What else have we got here? SkyWest 569 Charlie in the CRJ. They're airborne. Oof, that's a tight turn. Aaron as well in the Mad Dog. Now that's exciting. FedEx 1123, 737-800, doing a bit of cargo to Salt Lake. And we've got Osprey 27 Juliet Mike as well, 737-600, flying the Grisen. Don Carlito Air Canada 784. There he is. Love it. That's the Kuro 787-8. Very cool. Such a great freeware aeroplane, that, isn't it, folks? WestJet 1745, Sam. Ooh. It's not what we got in model matching, but he's in this Walt Disney WestJet livery. That's a nice surprise. And then Osprey 598. In the 737-900 as well, braving it. Good job. Andrew, no worries, I know it's super early for you guys on the west coast, Canada. Cloudybox says, V1 simulation has used tennis tape wrap around the yoke handle. Huge difference, he says. That's actually not a bad shout, I don't think, actually, to be fair, with that. I've not thought of that. Could be a good one, actually. That could be a good, nice way just to get a bit more of a realistic feel of it. Ah, happy birthday to your lads, living on a player. Hope he's having a good day. Got much planned? Birthday cake and a British Av Geek stream. Grey Shirt says the chaotic streams are good entertainment. That's why I keep voting for the Phoenix in the Roots. Yeah, that never goes smoothly for me, does it? Evil Ace are as well saying, can't have 100% perfect streams. It's the chaotic ones that make watching you and others fun. Doc says default Salt Lake City is not reliable anymore because they've renovated all the terminal buildings and so all the parking stands are different. Didn't know that. Thankfully we've got that. Is it Pacific Islands Simulations scenery today? Ergy, welcome. Oof, yeah. Can always celebrate next week, can't you? Once he's feeling a little bit better. Let's dive in on the live chat commands then to Meta KSLC. And I'll run the TAF as well. Andrew, yeah, pretty much. I think it's the same stuff. One to go. So the Meta at Salt Lake City now for us today. Winds 200 degrees at 4 knots, 10 statute miles, visibility clear, skies 21 degrees Celsius, dew point 08, altimeter 3010. Very good. Very good, very nice. And then we look at the Salt Lake City TAF though, below that. When are we going to be arriving? Let's see. Estimated 1425Z. 1420Z. So in that TAF, we got mean winds 210 at 5. There's a probability of 6 statute miles visibility. Clear skies. From 1500Z, 320 at 5, 6 statute miles, clear skies, and from 1900, so this evening Salt Lake City's going to get a bit windy. 340 at 8, gusting 16, 6 statute miles visibility, but nothing kind of concerning to look at, to be fair. Jeez, Ian, is it that much? My goodness. Had a quick look at Salt Lake City's payware scenery today, and it was $37 US, which for those of you in Australia like Ian is, translates to over 50 Australian dollars for an airport scenery. So quickly backed out before the better half walked in. Whew. That is expensive, man. My goodness. No return leg, unfortunately, Sam. Yesterday's stream was particularly was a bit long in length than I'd kind of not hoped for, but anticipated. So I ended up struggling to fit it around the dog's medication times, but then also his exercise regime. So we were a little behind on his exercise regime, sadly, by the time we finished yesterday. So post-stream, it was a little bit of a rush. Tomorrow I'm not streaming. I've got to go back to my late mother's house to help my brother sort out a few bits there, because he's doing a lot on his own. Tomorrow the missus is off as well, so she can look after the dog and I can run up the country for a couple of hours and spend half a day there dealing with stuff. But Sunday we're going to be flying Ayers Rock, Uluru, to Melbourne in the BA 146 cargo. Really cool. Davey, hello, saying I recently joined the Osprey clan. I cannot see what the call sign is for VATSIM. Are you using what do you mean the call sign? Do you mean the 3-letter code, or do you mean like the whole thing, like the numbers and the letters? Yeah. If you buy the Fokker, she's gonna think you're an absolute Fokker. F28, of course. Oh, Davey, it's Osprey. So your call sign, for example, if you were flying a scheduled service from Manchester to Heathrow, I think it's BVX 103, for example, would be Osprey 103. If you're not sure, it's written on the side of the plane. If you're in doubt. And also, if you've got questions about Osprey, folks, and you're in Discord, head to our Discord server. Don't be worried about pinging us, asking a question about it. Happy to try and answer those questions. Certainly if you're taking part in the virtual airline, trying to fly on VATSIM and things. We're an official VA now. Felix is asking, when do you think we can expect the PMDG 777 series or the first model release? Oh, absolutely no idea. I think we've still got a few months left to wait yet, buddy. Andy's saying Navigraph charts decode the TAF pretty nicely. Let's have a little look. So we go into here, information, weather, TAF. There we go. So that's the TAF we saw a moment ago, all in the kind of raw data form. And then we scroll down and we can actually read what it's meant to be like. So current 1200 Z, winds 210 at 5, 6 statute miles visibility or greater, clear sky, cloud ceiling at least 12,000 AGL. That time expires 1500 Zulu. From 1500 Zulu the forecast changes in the TAF to move to 320 knots. 320 degrees at 5 knots. Still good skies. Rapid change though, it says there, and then an expiry at 1900 Z, where again there's another rapid change. Winds go to 340 at 8, gusting 16, but again good visibility and good ceiling. There we are, and the METAR's decoded in the same way too, so you get the raw format, but you can have the bit at the bottom that kind of explains everything. So sometimes people don't know what SLP and T and everything else means. That decodes it for you here too. So wind 200 at 4, 10 statute miles, temperature 21 degrees Celsius, dew point 8, humidity is 43%, altimeter 3010. And then all the bit after that in the remarks, AO2, SLP, T02, etc. That is all of this. So AO2, automated station with precipitation discriminator, sea level pressure of 1012.8, that's SLP. Hourly temperature of 21.1 degrees Celsius and dew point of 8.3 degrees Celsius, 6 hour maximum temperature of 27.2 and the minimum 6 hourly temperature 20.6. Increase then steady, or increase then increase more slowly, of a pressure change of 1.4 hectopascals across the past 3 hours. A lot of gumph, isn't it? Which is why you cut out a lot of the nonsense and just take the bits you need. MPS Gaming saying they've got some more panel bugs. What panel bug have you got? Sorry, I missed it earlier on. Chris Packett says, talking of Osprey, can you get the sack for poor landings? No, but continuous crashes and things get flagged as kind of like trolling, and they get they can be automatically kicked and things. But that, I mean, that's if you're doing like say 3 flights in a day and 2 or 3 of those ended up in a crash. Then a VA probably isn't for you. But the odd, you know, a poor landing, that's not a problem at all. MPS Gaming, I had that yesterday. I don't know if it came across in the stream actually, as we were kind of looking around. I think it was maybe toggling my head tracker on and off. I was clicking like bits, and then my cursor became this little white circle. CT4711, welcome on board. Thanks for subscribing. Ian says, I did read somewhere that Xbox controllers were causing issues with the screens for the PMDG, but can't remember where. Have you got an Xbox controller, MPS? Have you got, maybe you got like a Tobii eye tracker or something like that. It might be worth trying to, perhaps there's a button that you've got that's accidentally toggling it, causing that clash. Very odd. All the mountains, look at this. That, and just move the camera, is insanely cool. Look at the detail there. John, yeah, that's another issue that was introduced in the last updates. Some random white frames and some of your displays across various aircraft. That was introduced in the last update, I think. I don't think there's a way to solve that though, unfortunately. If you're looking for somewhere with pretty awful weather today as well, Heathrow. Although I'm an hour and a half or so away from Heathrow, it's absolutely torrential rain where I am at the minute. Chucking it down. MPS Gaming, if you get it solved though, you could always join us from Denver. Denver's a short hop across. Where is it? Valanta. Denver's only there, so you could do a short little hop across to Salt Lake City. If you depart in the next 10-15 minutes, or even 20 minutes to be fair actually, you'll fit into that queue quite nicely. People are still getting airborne, wow. Oh yeah, Riyadh looks like an absolute washout, doesn't it? My goodness. Can't imagine they're going to have many displays with the weather. We've had a run of very good weather, in fact, to be fair. We've had this thing that they called the Spanish plume and a few other things, so I think that's just created an unstable atmosphere and it's resulted in this crazy rain that we're now getting today. I don't mind it until I have to take the dog out in it. Okie doke. So, Salt Lake City, arriving runway 16 left. Conditions are currently VFR. Let's think about the arrival then, because we're a third of the way through, but we're making good progress. And we need to add in this, because like a lot of massive airports in the States, the stars are just as big. Crazy. So we're going to head in via Dubois, or Dubois. I'm going to say Dubois. Dubois! 158 degrees from the VOR. to Lava, and then 176 degrees for 54.8 miles to Brigham City's VOR, LHO. From there, 176 degrees, 14 miles to Carter, and then it's landing north or landing south. So 16 left is what we want. So we can expect at that waypoint 15,000 feet, runway 16 left or right, or 17. 16 left is the one that we're aiming for. So past there, we're on to Nord K. And then we're going to break off to Weber, 12,000 feet, because that's for runway 16 left. So intercept IMOI localizer, proceed inbound, expect ILS or visual approach. So we're going to go approach is ILS Lima Weber. Ta-da! It's basically a straight in approach. It's going to look quite cool. We'll scroll this across. So from Weber, the inset there, we're going to transition to Iran for the initial final approach, or the initial kind of radar fix, and then we're going to head into Tomb Lagoon. Yep, over the Wasatch VOR. Very short final at that point. Although there's a mast underneath that approach path there, which is 4,362 feet in elevation. My goodness. And then touching down on 16 left. So we're kind of getting stepped down, 11,000 to 9,000 at Tomb, then a little step down to 7,500 at Lagoon, and then down to 6,000 for Yip. At that point, 7 miles to final, and we'll be on a 3-degree glide slope, glide path angle, course of 164 down to the runway. Minimums, we'll do Cat 2 ILS, so we'll run out of 108 feet, but we will hand fly it in, I think, towards the last little bit. I like to hand fly these. And the transition level was flight level 180. The missed approach, though, always important to brief. It's written at the top. Climb to 4,800, then climb 10,000 feet inbound on the FFU VOR radial 341 to the VOR and hold. And that looks like that. 161 degrees straight to the Fairfield VOR, and then we'll kind of cut across and then enter the hold for the missed approach. If we go to reference though, I want to see 16 left. That is roughly what we should see on approach. That looks really nice. I purposely avoid beaters ramp. I'm on the MS Store version, which is an absolute nightmare to use, to be fair. Heel Tonic, welcome on board, saying I was lucky enough to road trip through these states. It's incredible scenery. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Brattleboro Memorial flight cancelled yesterday already for Fairford Reap. David, personally, I am quite happy that I purchased MSFS Premium Deluxe via the Microsoft Store. But again, it's a preference really. Wow, look at that. That is going to be remarkably scenic if this looks good. Airport elevation, whew, even higher than Calgary, 4,231 feet. Wow. After landing though, 16 left. We're going to zoom all the way down the runway. Vacate a Hotel 7, I think is probably a good plan there. Failing that, we've got Hotel 5 for a high-speed exit, and at that point we're going to vacate right on Hotel. That Hotel, or was it Golf? Right on Hotel, and then we're going to turn into 2 East to park at the concourse. A concourse gate Alpha 2 apparently Doc's given us. Nice and easy. So always look at where you're going to be going, as well as not just the approach. Really important. Within that though, on the taxi charts, parking gates. There it is. We'll go all the way down south taxi lane, 2 west, round Bravo, and to the north taxi lane to Alpha 2. I'll pin that because otherwise I'll get lost. Temporary construction zones. Just to keep an eye on those. Oh, and that's all of our charts pinned. So, we can pop in our airport elevation, 4227 feet. 4227. The nearest is 4250, so we'll round it up to the nearest value. That's our landing elevation set. From here, we can go into legs. We need to add in, because we've only got one waypoint left, look. So arrivals, Salt Lake City, ILS 16 left, via Weber, and it was the Nordic 6 arrival. Via Du Bois DBS. Execute. And there we go, Du Bois, Lava, LHO, Carter, Nordic, Weber, then vectors to Weber. Interesting. Clear that one. Radar fix, Weber, we're just going to go straight in. So, execute that, and then Iran is going to go in place of vectors just to connect all the dots up. Jolly good. Descent page, forecast. Yeah, you can play Microsoft Flight Simulator on Xbox, but you need to pay for everything via the marketplace, like liveries, as Aviator has said there. You have to buy liveries at an extortionate cost, where I feel like people on Xbox get royally ripped off by some of these developers painting liveries and charging like 5, 10, 15 pounds for them. Cool, that's good. Fixed rings. Tombs at 16 miles. Wow, that's miles. Pretty cool. Tomb Lagoon. Lagoon's at 12. So we're going to do runway 16 left for the fix. And we'll just do 8 and 4. 180 till 8 and 160 till 4 DME. A little fix. Jolly good. With that, we should have a top of descent. There we go, at Lava. Happy days. Looking decent. 3010. So we'll set that. With our OFP, we've got an estimated landing weight of 66.1 tons. So we can go init ref 66.1. The maximum landing weight for the 737-900ER is 71,350 kilograms, so 5 tons below that. And I'm going to use VAS Airplane Toolbox to calculate an approach for us. Headwind of 6 knots, runway 16 left. Full runway length 3659. I'm going to take 200 meters off that, so 3459. Engine bleeds on. Anti-ice off, reverses both. Lap 30. Water brake 2 with a stop margin of 982 meters apparently. What have we got here? Crikey. Alright, water brake 2 it is. We might vacate a Hotel 4. Lap 30. Look at the speed difference with this. 143 knots on approach, flat 30, add in the 5. Woo. There's the frequencies, we need to check those. So the ILS frequency 16 left is 109.5, inbound course of 164 on the charts. That's correct. Comparable with what's in the FMS. That's good, that's what we want to see. And then with that down here we can tune in the relevant frequencies for things. So ILS 1095. We'll pop those in like so. We can put it in Fairfield as well, 1166. Just in case we do a missed approach. And I might just put in that Wasatch VOR as well, 1168. Cool, that works. Up here we're going to set course 1 and 2 to the ILS inbound course of 164. And we'll do that for nav 1. And we'll do it for nav 2. Done. Little tweak to our heading bug there. Keep it in line. Who's WestJet 1745, Carlito? I'm not sure. Chris Packet, it looks for AGL. So as long as they're off by 10,000 feet AGL, you should be fine. New Sky Wiki, New Sky only requires pilots to turn landing lights off when above altitude set by the airline, set 10,000 feet by default. Below that altitude, landing lights are to be used at pilot's discretion. I always thought it was AGL. Interesting. Carlito, and it sounds like it's Sam, doesn't it really, but you guys are solving it. Carlito's on the slow climb still. Andrew, Luke, do you use some of the decent GA aircraft in MSFS to practice GA flying and the basics, so when you can continue your PPL training you're familiar with the small light aircraft? Personally, no. What whilst it does help a little bit, it's just, we mentioned it yesterday, it doesn't really give kind of enough realism comparable to that of actually operating a real PA-28 or Cessna 172 or anything like that. So beyond kind of just using the systems and fiddling around with those sort of things, it's kind of where the limit of the sim stops being helpful to flying the real aeroplanes, really. Have you seen the F-28 add-ons for the Honeycomb Bravo? Living on a player is saying, yeah, they popped up on a Pro Desk Sim email earlier on today, and my goodness, it was very tempting. They've even put a little detent here underneath the flaps. So there's like a little extra button on the Honeycomb Bravo. They've changed that into like a condition lever where you can turn them on and off. Really clever. But yeah, I haven't bought them, even though it's very tempting. Carly is going to go warp speed. Aim for the speed of sound. Yeah, the Honeycomb is pretty smart, isn't it? But then it worries me about their after service. People, even somebody messaged me yesterday, I think it was, that said that it's a bit messy. They've had issues a couple of months into having their throttles, and the after support is non-existent. The aftercare is non-existent from Honeycomb. I'm hoping that's not the case. But the gear seems pretty good anyway, at least for now. At least for now. Yes, Andrew, I've got the Boeing TCA yoke now. It came on deal, like a little deal for a little while, so I ended up kind of throwing a little bit of money at that instead to upgrades. But really impressive bit of kit. Just feels really cheap with the plastic they've used. That's the sad reality of it, which no one else has kind of really commented on. Certainly the ones that have got like the free things. But yeah, really kind of cheap, clicky plastic buttons and things like that. But like we said earlier, the mechanism itself of the pendulum yoke is really impressive. Really impressive. Do I think it's worth £350 though? No. Definitely not, Sam. Definitely not. Maybe the Airbus side sticks, but then even they're made of a really hard polymer plastic. So nothing like the kind of cheap plastic that Thrustmaster have used on their Airbus TCA. Aaron's, how are you getting on in the Mad Dog actually? So rusty with the Mad Dog, this landing is going to be interesting. How are you finding it? We've not flown that for a little while actually, and I was very tempted to do it for this route. But decided we'd jump into the 737-900ER because we've not done it for a little while, and it's a whopper of an aeroplane and really enjoyable. The fast approach is pretty hair-raising though, to be fair. Paul, hello buddy. I don't think there is a fix for that, to be honest, Paul. It sounds like a WASM crash, where the WASM module in your sim fails with whatever add-on you're using, where it would be like the Phoenix in your instance there, and I think that's kind of just, can't really solve that apart from restarting the sim. Yeah, they haven't really fixed the smoke issue, have they, Hergy, with the really crap frames per second you get from the Mad Dog's new smoke effects out of the back of the engines. Andrew, nice. Helimech. Well, there's that Etsy store that's now reopened that somebody in the chat the other day was mentioning, which I was looking into, to be fair, but I can't really justify spending the money at the minute. I've been landed with a whopper of a tax bill, which I have to pay. I have to save up to pay, rather. Evil says, I don't have too much problem with the honeycomb. They were quick to help me getting another set of commercial levers, so I could have both ProDesk 737 and a 4-engine lever set. That's pretty good. Yeah, sorry, yeah, I did see earlier on you said you should try and do a stream of random failures. That would be interesting. So every time I fly in the 737, I've always got service-based failures switched on. So we might get issues, we might not, but in reality, it would be interesting dealing with one failure after the next potentially, but in reality it's very rare that anything like that would happen. So Gimme Shout is saying Honeycomb's warranty and after sales service is non-existent. His throttle quadrant reverse thrust broke on lever 3 2 months after purchasing it, and he's got nowhere with them trying to get it fixed or replaced. That's pretty crap, isn't it, from them? Carly says the 787-8 is a Millennium Falcon when it's light. And yeah, Sam, we've had our fair shares of a couple of failures recently, haven't we? Engine off in the Fokker F28 was the latest whoopsie moment. Aaron, what about if you look back and you see the kind of smoky contrails from external view? Does that give you the tanked, like, sort of frame rates, or? Because I'd noticed it does kind of happen with me as well, to be fair, even with this RTX4090, which means that they've done something really messy with what they've done there. Carlito's airborne. There he is. We liked that one earlier on. His latest screenshot is there. Sam behind, WestJet. How about that? Oh yes, the Disney livery. Oh look, we've already liked that one. Who else? Osprey 27 Juliet Mike. Still no screenshots. Woo. Aaron as well in the Mad Dog. Come on, gotta be a screenshot. No! 737-800. FedEx Skywest 569 Charlie. No screenshots. You guys need to put more screenshots into Volanta. Ian. More screen grabs. Love it. Look at that. Looking good. Badger in his 757, he's flying offline, but we would otherwise be about to overtake him. And then there's MPS, down at Denver, ready to kind of throw himself into the mix. Take off in the next 10 minutes, MPS Gaming. You should fit in quite nicely there with us, to be fair. A little bit of wing flex on our stumpy wings. Raybold, very nice. How are you finding the 787-8? Ah, no worries, John. That explains it. Can't force you to use it. Atlanta. Where is it? Let's see. Aaron, no, he is in the Mad Dog. Osprey 121 Alpha. Oh yes. Oh, that one's not working. That one is though. Love it. Retrojet. Oh, there it is. Looking good. Davis, is it okay to fly any livery with Osprey Airways then, or just the free flights? So it depends really. Ideally, you would use the Osprey liveries as much as possible. Certainly with the scheduled services, you'd want to use Osprey if you can. But we're not going to start. You know, if you use a Delta livery like today, we're tracking the flights with New Sky, but I'm flying with a Delta livery. I'm not going to penalise people for that if they ideally fly as much as they can with Osprey with an Osprey livery, and then occasionally might venture into using another one, but still want to log the flight, then you can. You won't be penalised for that necessarily, at least for now. I don't know if New Sky will change something later on. MPS Gaming, you're weird. Sounds like something else has kind of happened overnight with your system. It was really, really odd. Don't know what to suggest there, buddy. It sounds like something else has got control of your switches. Oh yeah, we've definitely got the best, if not sexiest, virtual airline livery in the flight sim world. Definitely. My favourite one's got to be the well, the Osprey Holidays one is really special, but the that ANZAC Australia New Zealand kind of tribute ATR 72 livery. That is just something else. I've got a lot of time for that one. It's a remarkable bit of graphic design, if you like. I always find the Delta livery very boring. Looks like it's still stuck in the 1960s, but they've just colorized it. We have got another. Won't really kind of give it away too much, but we have got some more. We've got another special livery coming in the near future. But I won't give it away yet. Still being tweaked and painted and designed and kind of discussed with TAPSI, but we're working at something pretty special again. Very similar to the ANZAC livery, with its uniqueness and that real pop of like that wow factor, if you like. We're going for that again. Just not sure what aircraft yet though. It might be the 787-8 to be fair. Yeah, I've done the Windows update, Badger. Mine seems okay, touchwood. Oh, actually, MPS Gaming, have you got the Honeycomb Bravo? Because I noticed with mine, I had to make sure that all of the, the click switches above the throttle, I had to make sure that they were all, I'd cleared all of the inputs and all of the keybinds. I deleted all the keybinds for those because I noticed like the icing that I switched on was then making the ISIM switch just turn on and off rapidly, permanently, effectively. Don't know if maybe that might help. I'm not that techy, unfortunately. Sam, it's the 5th and 6th of August, buddy. That's Midsummer Madness. Prizes to be won include some of our channel merchandise, and PMDG are giving away 2 licenses to any of their products as well. So you can get yourself a 737-800 or a 900 variant if you haven't got that, or a DC-6 if you win. Very exciting. And that is that VATSIM Midsummer Madness competition/event. Hitesh, hello. Am I using any kind of mesh? No, just all default Bing map textures, buddy. Again, I have, to be fair, I've got a pretty powerful system now, an RTX4090, and I'm running the sim in 4K, 60 frames per second. Ian, ooh, I did have issues the other day. My controller kept disconnecting in the 146. I never did find the cause. No other sector, James. Good morning. Just the one today. Sunday's going to be really good fun. I've got to be pretty sharp for that, actually. Flying the 146 once again, post that big update. They've done a big update for it recently, haven't they? A couple of weeks back now, Just Flight, for that 146 professional pack. Currently on sale. And we're going to fly Qantas Freight from, we've got Ayers Rock, the really nice AU scene, Payware Ayers Rock scenery, next to Uluru. So we're going to have a beautiful, beautiful scenic departure, and we're going to head down to Melbourne for a flight back to Melbourne for the first time flying in there. And that's all part of Fly July, because up to the 16th of July, if you fly into Melbourne and you add the flight log, the screenshot of your flight on Volanta, and screenshots of your flight into their Orbex server in the Fly July competition tab, it will give you entries in to win some prizes from Orbex Fly July. It's a no-brainer, isn't it? Andrew says, I've just emailed you the links to the guy on YouTube that custom designs and hand builds flight sim hardware. I'll let you review it, then you can post it in your Discord if you like. Stick it in Discord, Andrew, if you want. Pop it into the crew room chat, or MSFS add-ons, in fact. That might be a good place to put it in. Happy for you to share it. Might be useful for other people as well. Hitesh says, what is the update on the Mini FCU? Am I getting one? So, yeah, I think they emailed me saying thanks for helping kind of promote it. It was a very unknown product up to that point. When a couple of other folk like myself started to kind of advertise it for them and things. For that Kickstarter campaign. They're going to send me a unit to kind of review and show off to you guys whenever it is ready. I think they're expecting it September into October for that. So keep your eye on the channel for that. They're already planning the extension to the Mini FCU. So the, you know, on the Airbus, I guess you're going to have to kind of pretend this is an A320 for now. You've got the FCU here, haven't you, with the altitude, speed, heading modes and things. You've then got like the Airbus version of this little unit here, haven't you? Can't remember what it's called now. But they're now working on an extension for that, which will then dock onto the FCU. So you create this little mini cockpit dash. So you'll have like a complete glare shield, if you like. EFIS, there we go, thanks Ian. Yeah, so they're working on mini EFIS now as well, which is epic, really cool. Having basically a mini glare shield entirely for the A320 is going to be pretty cool. So looking forward to seeing how they do that, really. I feel like certainly this year, the flight sim community, if you like, are particularly energised with. I think it's coming into its own again, isn't it? There was the kind of golden year of flight sim, I think pretty much around where X-Plane 11 launched, and it had this big surge in popularity. It fizzled out a little bit over the years. Microsoft Flight Simulator's come out, and then it's been a huge surge in popularity. A couple of years now down the line, you've got all of the kind of core solid simmers within the MSFS world, still using it to replicate really realistic flights as best as they can now, in conjunction with some of the most incredible add-ons that have been created now as well. And I think it's kind of resurging back into this this golden year of flight simulation. And I'm looking forward to seeing what Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 is going to bring. Hopefully it's a nice stable sim. Top of descent in 40 miles. So we've got refs done. We've got the local QNH set. We'll do a final run of METAR. I can't see because I've got this weird icon, this heart symbol on the chat for some reason. So I'm going to push it up. 3011 still for the altimeter, so that's gone up again slightly. We'll recorrect that. And then inside the descent forecast, don't really need to worry about changing it this much, but we'll do 3011 just to ensure it's accurately done. Job's good. Back to the legs page. And we need to set our minimums. So we mentioned earlier on it was 102, wasn't it? I think. Nope, 108 feet for the rad out. So we're going to flick across to radio, and we're going to scroll this up to 108. But to be fair, we're probably going to turn it off and hand fly the last 1,000 foot again anyway. I do like to do that. Quantum Home PC tech in 10 years will be epic, Grant says for MSFS. I wonder how much that would cost. Our first descent then, Nord 6 arrival, we're going to aim for, I'm just going to set 12,000 feet actually, Weber at 12, so that will aim for continuous descent through the different constraints in the star, all the way down to 12,000 feet. Let's just get that set ready. Done. Heading bug is aligned with our heading, but we've got a tracker 158, heading of 165. VNAV mode and LNAV are active, course 1 and course 2 are set. ILS is set to both nav 1 and 2 as well for the approach. We've briefed the missed approach, we've added a couple of fixed rings, and we've got 2 VORs tuned in as well. I'm going to flick nav 2 to ILS now, just to save me doing it later. And the pressure panel set to the airport elevation of 4,250 feet. I think we've got some more cabin announcements, but we'll find out when we get into the descent. We'll play the descent one and we'll see what it basically brings up. Cloud tech and quantum computing will be amazing by 2030 to 2035. I don't even know what. I'm not even sure what quantum computing is. I don't think my brain can kind of comprehend it. Sounds powerful though. It's going to blow us away, I'm sure, Grant. Yeah, absolutely. I think you're right there. James, 100% going to get MSFS 2024. Absolutely. Can't wait. Very, very much looking forward to it. I still need to get a, what's it called? Butt kicker, there we go. I still want to get a butt kicker. Still completely hooked on the idea of getting one of those. I think it's going to be quite interesting. I think you're right there, Ian, saying that yeah, I agree there. I think the Microsoft servers can barely cope sometimes on a weekend, let alone when Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 gets released. My goodness. I don't think they're going to have anywhere near the ability to keep up with the amount of people connecting. More so, people on Xbox are going to just go, oh, Game Pass, MSFS 2024, download. So I think the first few weeks are going to be very unstable, at least for the online services. But if then the sim, the kind of world around us, is on the online services and it fails, is that going to mean that we're just going to end up with like a... Imagine if we're flying now and all the data for the Bing photogrammetry disappeared. Would we just get a massive white square of nothingness? I don't know. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. All accounts, it doesn't sound like we've got a majorly long time left to wait either. Maybe 8-9 months, who knows. Reset the heading bug, keep it on the heading. 62 knot crosswind though, so track versus heading, look. Just correct this to make sure it's accurate, or as nearer to as possible. Track of 176, that's where we're going, but the heading of the aeroplane is actually 184. So we've got an 8 knot drift. Sam, I've used MSFS for cross the pond a few times. I know a streamer a little while ago said that people who use MSFS for cross the pond was it stupid or was it foolish? I can't remember the exact word that they used. Someone will remember anyway. But yeah, effectively that is, I've used it a few times. Kuro 787, most definitely, and the 787-10. Probably, dare I say, the 747-8 now as opposed to AU2, though I've not tried it. They are all pretty much solid, I think, for across the pond. The Inibuild's A310 definitely is. And hopefully, we'll get the Aerosoft A330 in time for across the pond around September time. Maybe for the first few weeks, Bernie. Then I'll see how we go. Anim 909, welcome on board. Thanks for joining us today. I hope you're well. Thanks to everybody who's hit the like button so far as well, folks. Great to see loads of you enjoying the stream. Heading now in descent towards Salt Lake City, which by all accounts is up ahead. Look at that. The airport's going to be over there somewhere, actually, past this ridge. So through flat 30, 143, 108 for the red outs, 3011, order break 2. Missed approach is briefed. We've got all of our approach data set and checked. Little master caution reward. Thanks to him. Badger says he's tried the 748 cross pond and it works well. Good to hear. Ooh, Paul, I'd have to check once we're on the ground, perhaps. I think I've got the sensitivity set to minus 65% roughly, perhaps, as an approximate. I'm not 100% certain. I can't remember off the top of my head, to be fair. Doc, I didn't. Although yeah, he's up towards San Francisco way, isn't he? By the looks of it, down towards San Francisco way. Andrew's asking if we'll be flying the DC-6 or the MD-82 again soon. Probably the MD-82 sooner than the MD-6, to be fair. In all likelihood. And how do you find the HF8? That's the new Next Level Racing haptic feedback seat cover, isn't it? That look pretty good. It looks quite good. I just don't know what it actually is like. So I'd be interested to hear your thoughts as an end user. $24,000, 12 at Weber, and the bananas just before that. That looks pretty good. We have to obviously have a bit of time to decelerate there too. And it says, haven't bought the HF8 yet, just been watching some reviews on it. Yeah, I'm not sure about it. The butt kicker sounds like the perfect opportunity, but then below me is the living room, and I'm not sure if the missus would enjoy bass every time I hit a bit of turbulence. It would be funny though. When, you know, I'd be asked to turn it down and I'd be like, I can't. It's the it's the turbulence, it's the mountains. Neil says haptic feedback gloves and VR combination is the future. Haptic feedback gloves? That is the first I've heard of that. That would be quite cool. How that would link into the sim though, I don't know. Ian, you've got a butt kicker, haven't you? How do you find it? Do you find it pretty noisy? Do you have a floor below that it kind of vibrates away, or I don't know. I'm still tempted. James, I can't control VATSIM at Heathrow. Even though I feel like I know Heathrow very well and I would probably be okay at it, there are rules with VATSIM UK. So yeah, I probably will never be a Heathrow controller. I haven't controlled in over a year and a bit anyway. I do need to get back into it. Andrew says, when the 757 and the 777 come out, Luke will be spoilt for choice on what to fly in the sim. Yeah, you're not wrong. When those two come out, I'm not going to show what to fly. I'm just going to be I'm already spoilt for choice, but I feel like I'm going to be living in the 757 and the 777 when they do release. They are absolute powerhouse aircraft for the sim, and if they're done right, which I'm sure they will be, then I think we're going to be utterly blown away. Ian, yeah, good point. Fair play. But hazy at Salt Lake City, Rab says, yeah, look at that in the distance there. A haze between the valley. The airport is just where the cursor is now, actually. So follow that body of water, and then just as it disappears into the cloud, that's where Salt Lake City Airport is. Let's make a call. We are LHO at the moment for the VOR. Brigham City. Salt Lake City traffic Delta 3798, Boeing 737-900, inbound altimeter 3011. Currently 18,000 feet. Brigham City inbound Nordic 6 arrival. Via Weber for the ILS 16 left approach. We'll report Weber. Salt Lake City traffic. Oof. Smooth. I do feel at home in the 737, I've got to say. Standard pressure. VNAV's got a little bit more work to do now just to get us back on par, but it does do a very good job of it in this. And let's get seatbelt signs on. and descent announcement from Delta.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we begin our descent, we request that you return to your seat and make sure your seatbelt is securely fastened low and tight across your lap. If you've taken out any carry-on items, please make sure they are safely stowed underneath the seat in front of you or in the overhead bin.
Absolutely, Andrew. Bang on. Are you going to record Osprey cabin announcements for the Luke Airtal? Bernie said. So we've done a couple, just haven't really, they haven't really taken off. We do have a custom sound pack, to be fair. Look at that view. The valley down there is just spectacular. How good is that? Oh. Well, currently VRAM wise, Hitesh, I'm using 60%.
Solid City traffic, Osprey 272
really nice.
at 1,700 feet. Inbound the Nordic 6 arrival, expecting the ILS to 16 left. QNH 3011 will report overhead weather.
Weather's at 12. Oh,
City
we're almost
traffic.
here. My goodness, let's pause the music. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? FS add-ons. Jolly good. Right, got that prepped. So, final checks. 10 minutes to landing, max. Final ding to the crew. Sit down, strap in. Order brake 2. Flight directors are on. Park brake is off. ILS 1 and 2 both now active. Course is set 164s. And Iran for the next one. Rubber at 12. We'll go for Iran at 11. Loom at 9. So we'll go all the way down to 9 now. Oh, always Dak. Always. I try not to grease though. I always aim for an accurate touchdown. So butter's never good. Kind of like this weird thing in the flight sim world. Drag required. Go speed brake out to flight detent. Yeah, it's one of those kind of weird things that happens in flight sim world. To be fair, through 10,000 feet AGL lights, automatic ignition, and yes, signs done. Pressure panel sets, depressurizing nicely. Yeah, I aim for 1.1 to 1.3 G as a good touchdown, Dak. Yeah, butter's never good in real life, certainly. Decel points coming up. Number 2, loom. Let's go to vertical speed mode. Actually, let's leave it in VNAV for a bit. We'll just see what she does. Have I done that many, Doc? My goodness. 771 videos of flight simulation. Jeez. Let's bring the speed down while we're level here. We've only got 5,000 feet to go, folks. Currently, if we go to flaps up here, 210, minimum clean. Currently, we are passing right over Hill Air Force Base. And Ogden Hinckley airfield. But that's Hill Air Force Base right there. Look at this for an approach. Wow. Speed's coming down very nicely. And that is something else. I get that window out of the way. That's stunning. What a spectacular approach this is, eh? Let's check the other side. Whew. Really nice. Look at that. So easy to get distracted in the flight sim world, isn't it? With visuals like this. And this haze, look at the aerosol just sitting ever so loosely near the mountains, and then it gets dense further in. So impressive. Spoilers, flight detent. Oops, I forgot to report, didn't I? Salt Lake City traffic, Delta 3798 inbound to 9,000 feet, altimeter 3011, establishing ILS 16 left, 18 DME. Salt Lake traffic. Tomb 16 miles, Lagoon at 7,500, so let's set that, we'll aim for that. Still a little bit of work to do.
2472 is sidestepping to runway 16 right. Inbound, we'll report when overhead Vivi.
Ian's going for the parallel.
Salt Lake City traffic.
He's behind us somewhere. Look at this, got my work cut out. Leandro, welcome, welcome, thanks for subscribing, great to have you with us. I'm going to go for flap 2. Hopefully that's flap 2 while I smack the microphone. It is. I'm still getting used to this honeycomb throttle. 7.5, leveling off, bringing our speed down. And actually, if we go to approach mode now, let our speed come to 180. Look at that, bang on the glide slope at 12 miles. Continue the deceleration. Got a bit of work to do here because we need to slow the aeroplane down. So at this speed, gear extension limits 270 knots. That's good. We are decelerating slightly, but at 11 miles now with a few to go into this haze. Wow. Whew. I'm going to go gear down. Yeah, this is a 10 out of 10 views. Spectacular. Oh, look at that. Got to concentrate now. 180, 160. Flat 15. 66,
Salt Lake City traffic, Osprey 2472 is established on the glide slope for runway 16 right. Salt Lake City traffic.
He is. Can't see him. Ooh. Look at this. Let's see. Got here. Add the 5. Flap 30. To confirm that is going to be set to flap 30. It is. Okay.
Salt Lake City traffic.
No filters,
2472, 9 nautical mile final. Thrust right for runway 16 right. Salt Lake City traffic.
Flap 25. Okay, now it's flap 30. Didn't quite go in. Ah, interesting. Okay, that's a keybind issue. Jeez. Resolved. My controls. My plane. Control visualizer for you guys as well. Let's clear the warning. Speed's good. Little drop of powder. Slight crosswind. 1 or 2 knots. Got to remember this is taking us in a little quicker than what we would otherwise anticipate. Being a big stretched version of the 737.
200 approaching minimums.
Okay, here we go. Looking ahead.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Oh. Reverse. Nose is down. Green. Decelerating. 209. Yeah, buddy. Back on the stick. Oh, look, it's lifted the nose wheel there. Just gently on the stick. Now, if we push forwards, yeah, more brakes. Interesting. Wanted to see how that would work. $60 knots. Water brake disarmed. Little long, yeah, a little long. Within the touchdown zone though, so if I expand on the top left of the screen, you'll see actually, you know what? That's not bad. Where are we? 1.6. There's the touchdown zone. So we were still within it. We had 1 bar left to go before we have to think about go around. 209 foot per minute. Very good. Right. Delta cabin announcements. Move the crew to do their thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Please remain in your seat with your seatbelt fastened until the aircraft has been parked to the gate and the captain turns off the fasten seatbelt sign. This will be your only indication that it's safe to stand.
Salt Lake City traffic, American 221 is starting the downwind leg on the Delta 6 approach for runway 16 right.
Use your cell phone. It is now safe for you to do so.
Okay.
As a reminder, your laptop computer must remain stowed until we're parked at the gate.
APU done. That's all on auto anyway.
Have an absolutely gorgeous day ahead of you. We certainly hope what your future plans call.
Yeah, it's good to see how all that's modelled flying into this high altitude and things as well. It's definitely handles differently. Gates A, and it was A2. So long old taxi, no follow me required. And yeah, Delta obviously for operator. No doubt. Right. Ah! So that's my key bind for this one. I have to just move the actual throttle lever back a little bit. So, interesting. Right. Slight little variations there for the PMDG profile that I've got. So I need to write down on here while I've got chance. Good shout there, Doc, buddy. Thank you. Put the wing light on as well, why not? Shiny, shiny. What is it? Flap. There's a flap up key bind still. Yeah, so Pacific Island Simulations, Salt Lake City Airport this. It doesn't look like a wow from here, does it? 20 quid this scenery. That approach though was just spectacular. I don't know, we'll park up, we'll see what it looks like. I've heard good things. So long this aeroplane, it's insane. Such a weird looking 737, isn't it? Fortunately not Bernie. Got some dog care to sort of sort out. APU's good. Pop that on automatic. And I'm not even sure we're going to see the approaches from people here, to be fair.
Salt Lake City traffic, Osprey 2472, taxiing to gate Bravo 9 via Alpha 6 and Echo, and then taxi to the gate. Salt Lake City traffic.
Ground approach. Oof. Ah, this is the intersection, isn't it? 2 east. Yeah. Little messy intersection there of the taxiway lines. That's pretty shoddy, actually. Crikey. You're in the Dreamliner, watch out for those. Suck them straight into the engines. My goodness. Nice custom jetties. We've got to go all the way to Alpha 2 though. Long old way to go. I'm just going to reset this, because if we keep her straight, that should do. Just want to go over here. So we've got one on final. So follow aircraft off. D. My goodness, such a long runway. Yeah, it's about $20. It is a free press copy that I've got though that they have sent me for a review, but it looks like there's an interior though, to be fair. But there, the glass is a little bit nasty looking, isn't it? Huge airport though. I don't know if it's actually meant to look, if it looks like this in real life. I've never been, but it's a massive airport in a very, very scenic location, to be fair. It doesn't look awful. It doesn't look awful at all. It looks all right. Certainly looks like there's a nice interior there that we need to explore.
Currently heading toward India Romeo Oscar November. Delta traffic.
Ah, look, there's the masts that we had on final. There was a warning for those on the charts. Remember, we go all the way back to that. There was like a warning for it, wasn't there? Just parking now, King Memo. Overlay is Valanta. Alpha 2, James.
Salt Lake City traffic, American Airlines 51, currently on a 15-mile final runway 16 right.
$25.99. That's steep, isn't it, really?
5 miles to go, runway 16 left.
Little bypass underpass there.
Salt Lake City traffic, FedEx
But
1123 going around.
look at that. That is a really impressive view. Peeling off just behind the backdrop there of the terminal. Bam! Mountains. Very scenic. Going around. He's up there, I think. We've got 2 on final. The heck? Don't know why we came to a stop there.
Osprey 121 Alpha.
That's pretty good.
Making left turn out.
49 Whiskey says the new Salt Lake City is absolutely fantastic.
Come back around.
Seems pretty expensive though, from what people are saying. This is the first time that I've been kind of checking it out, to be fair, so it looks alright. GSX for some reason thinks we're at Alpha 2. We'll go around the corner yet. Crikey. Alpha 3's there. Alpha 2's there. Still can't see anybody.
traffic, Southwest 725, taxiing 216 right, 2 West Bravo, holding point Alpha 10.
God, that's full left on the rudder there. Jesus. Quick check. They can't have both gone around. There's one. I think the other one's just on a short final still. Okay, Alpha 2's right here. So, yeah, we've got the stand and everything in place. Taxi lights off. Long got a final of this. Hey, this doesn't look awful. Actually looks alright. There are issues with it though. That's, I mean, like some of the textures that we've seen on the taxiways are pretty shoddy.
Traffic, Canada 784, 8 nautical miles out.
Salt Lake City traffic, Osprey 27 Juliet Mike established, 16 left, 17 miles.
Here we go. Following the VDGS. Taking her in smooth. Stop. Bosh. Ah, Chuffineck. We missed the CRJ touching down.
Salt Lake City traffic, Air Canada 784 fully established.
Hey, look at this. The haze has kind of lifted. Look at that.
Salt Lake City traffic, American Airlines 221 fully established, runway 16 right, currently 3 miles.
Ta-da! There's please cut engines. So APU's good, let's get them off. Anti-collision lights off. And then GSX menu, FS actions, ground services, chocks, jolly good. Clear that, that's all set. Not bad on the parking, I'll take it. So we've got him on final, and then over there, parallel, we've got the American Airlines. Oh, we can't watch both at the same time. We've got to check New Sky out as well. Oof, this is going to be action pan zoom, I think. There's the one. There's another. Good effort, Ian. Good job. Over the touchdown zone now. Flare. Holding the picture. Letting the aeroplane settle. Touchdown. Very nice. Have we missed him? Oh! Hey! Here we go! Not yet! Oh my goodness, touched down already. Jeez, he's down! What he's doing is he's shrinking the length of time he has to taxi. That's some smart piloting right there. And we've got another one on short final now. My goodness, this drone camera stuff's making me dizzy. It's an A310. Oof. I think this might be the Mad Dog. Is it Aaron in the Mad Dog? Could be wrong. Once he's touched down, we need to have a little look at the camera.
Calgary City traffic, Air Canada 74-18.
We'll have to have a look at the new sky score that we've got for ourselves as well. Boarding.
Boarding requested.
Ian, it was good. The approach comes up on you really quick actually, because the star and the approach path and everything look really, what do you call it? It looks a lot further than it actually is, and then when you actually find yourself on the arrival, before you know it, you're actually dealing with the aeroplane already. Oh, it's the 737-600, which means that it's sharing our. See the door open there? It's showing it's sharing our AI model animations. So that's why he's got chocks and the door open.
Passengers, the boarding started.
Looking good. Oh look, there's the other door. So, why did it do that? I don't know. I do love that Osprey retrojet though. It's weird. It actually kind of looked like an A310 from ahead, like from the front for a moment there.
So like traffic south of 25 on the taking off out on safe right.
Should we take a look at New Sky? Bash. There we go. So, let's close the route. Let's see how well we've done here. 161 passengers out of a total of 204 that we could have had. 33 units of cargo. 11,621 virtual dollars for the VA, and a score of 9. Landing lights on above airline SOP altitude of 11,000 feet for 4141 seconds. What the heck? Landing lights off. Lights again, off on. Lights, 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 lights. What the heck? Lights, lights, lights. Lights, lights. More lights on the log there. Lights, landing lights on and off. What the heck? I don't even know. That's very confusing. But either way, the score's green. That's all that matters. There must be a keybind conflict there somewhere. Living on a player there you go. Keybind issue with the aircraft and the Honey Bravo. CRJ, here we go. Yeah, that's super weird. So basically it thinks we've had the landing lights on for about half of the flight's total duration. Oof, he's down. With the skids. Oof. Very nice touchdown there. Bit of a crosswind to contend with. Haven't flown the CRJ for a while either, have we? Certainly a very nice aeroplane. The heck is that Korean Air doing? Yeah, Rab, you did, but I didn't know what that meant. Because on the switches, they were all off. I don't know if there's anyone else on final. Oh, there is. Right, while we're here though, I'm just going to go in here. I'm going to stare at the lights for a moment. I'm going to click some switches. They don't do anything. They must still be tied to it though somehow. That's really weird.
And solid traffic west set.
Rab says they were going on and off.
Is,
it's going to be a keybind thing with the Bravo then, absolutely. I thought I'd turn them all off. Maybe I've only turned them off on my Phoenix profile. That's really annoying though. Great touchdown, 1.19G it says. So got top score for that, and then they've deducted a whole point for the landing lights bug. Otherwise it'd be a 10. Oh well. 9 is still a good score. I'll take it. At least we know how to solve it as well. That's the main thing. So this was the go-around, wasn't it, earlier on? Let's see. Yes, it's Sam, I think. WestJet 1745. Oh, we've got the FedEx 1123 as well. That last CRJ was actually Aaron in the Mad Dog in the MD-82. Here we go. Somebody was asking about sensitivities earlier on, so we'll zoom over to the settings once this aircraft's down. We'll have a look while we wait for that FedEx to effect himself back round again.
Salt Lake City traffic, Korean 227, currently 5 miles, runway 16 left.
Ah, that's going to be elk. Sounds there's winds all over the place. It is a bit, isn't it? Here he comes. Over the threshold, over the touchdown zone. Holding that flare. Look at that. Oof. Lovely job. Ian, I'm not sure, to be honest. Ah, Ian, yes. Yeah, nice little touch. Right, so while they're all doing their thing, I'm just going to show you guys somebody was asking about the sensitivities earlier on for the Boeing yoke. Here we go. So they're the sensitivities that I've got. Slight dead zone, 1%, dead zones of 9, so 1% at the extreme, 9% dead zone, and then sensitivities actually, I've just got them 0, set to 0. I might add a slight curve there though. What have we got here? And then my rudder sensitivities, by contrast to these kind of smoother curves, 60% sensitivities there. Dead zone still at 9%.
Salt Lake City, FedEx 1123, base turn for 16 left.
Right, so we're going to go to all. I'm going to go search by input and I'm going to click a switch. Beacon lights. Ah, oh, ruddy heck. So yeah, it is. So I've got to go clear current input, validate, and then I've got to do the same again, but the opposite way, and then it recognises it. I'll then have to clear that. So that's why it's wrecked me score. Chuffing hell. I thought I'd saved all this. So that's going to take about 10 minutes or so of work, and then when it's all done I'll apply and save, and hopefully I'll never get that bug again. But that's how you do that. Here comes the Korean. I think it's elk. Hopefully not messing around too much again on VATSIM. FedEx was coming round as well on a base turn somewhere, wasn't he? Ah, he's on long final. Oh, Doc, yeah. Yeah. Late landing gear. Touchdown. One more to come in, that FedEx, and then we can have a look at the inside as well, because I'm interested to see what this scenery looks like. Massive taxiways going on up over there, look, towards the other runway, 17.
Korean 227 vacated 16 left.
Looks like a cargo centre over there, potentially.
FedEx 1123, 7 mile final, 16 left.
GA centre, Doc, thank you, and BizJets, there we go. Yeah, that's just their elk mucking about, I think. No flight plan, because he's literally just spawned in. We saw him slewing towards final approach a moment ago, didn't we? Sam, he's got the scenery, but forgot to install it. What's the default one like by comparison? So the FedEx did a go around. He's coming in for a second run. And there are those masks on short final. Looks like it's progressed into a bit more of a crosswind now as well, doesn't it? Here we go. Should be an FSLTL bit of model matching this, I think. There's the windsock showing actually a proper crosswind now. And he's down. FedEx Express. Ooh, it's the European version, Swedish version, look, for model matching. The model matching doesn't know the difference, it just takes the FedEx call sign and picks FedEx livery to render in. Good job. Right, let's have a look at this scenery then, shall we, folks? There's not much to see over here at all, is there? That looks pretty depressing. This construction type zone here. That is really rubbish. Oh my god. Stars you mean to go on. Jeez. Right. Andrew, have a good one. Have a good day at work. Yeah, oh my god, these textures. Is this an FSX port? Here's the control tower. And while we're here, because this is just bleak emissives.
Salt Lake City traffic, FedEx 1123 vacated, taxiing hotel to cargo area.
It's not amazing, is it? Let's have a look at the terminal though, this is the bit that matters. Yeah, $26 plus taxes for this, my goodness. I'd heard good things. I know when people get stuff for free, they can be inclined to have an element of bias towards it and be like, yeah, that's amazing. But I've received this for free as a review copy, and I'm only ever going to be honest with these things. Even the textures inside the hangar there look really blurry. The apron textures look okay. It's just where they join with some of those taxiways that we saw earlier on. They're a bit wonky and a little bit drunk. But otherwise they look alright, don't they? And in reality I suppose you're not going to look that closely up to a logo. Let's have a look in the terminal here. This is the Bravo concourse. Got to do the sound effects. Ah, look at this. Let's start at the end. We'll work our way forwards. Still too fast. Slow down, Luke. Holy heck. See, that's really nice and visible. This is a bit better, isn't it? Not massively. The textures there are a little bit naff. Otherwise it's quite nice in some areas. The interior is certainly nice enough, isn't it? For this kind of thing. We punch back out. Have a look at some of these custom textures here. Nothing wrong with the apron really, is there? Look at that. We'll have a look at Concourse A, shall we? So what we'll do is we'll take the drone camera the other side of the departures and we'll actually kind of work our way back. So we'll have a look at the approach to the airport first.
699 intersection from B terminal to runway 16 left via Hotel 6 Hotel.
Huge car park. Yeah, good job, Aaron. And Sam as well with a 10. This is nicely modelled, the car park there. The colours are really good actually as well, to be fair. I think that's quite nice. And then we've got the approach. We'll come in against the flow of traffic. So they've made the effort there to kind of add in the textures of the lettering. This is the bit I don't really get, because if you're doing that, at least make them crisp. Yeah, look at unload there, look how blurry that is from above. If you think we can see it, make it crisp. Curbside check-in, wow. Didn't even know that was a thing. Okay, let's see what we've got. Not sure how much of an interior there is. This side of the airport has kind of dropped the standard back down again, hasn't it? Like it's like the ATC tower. Same with the rivals here. Yeah, but if you're going to make the effort, make the effort, do you know what I mean? That's the point, Rishi. So that's the roof. So they've done the bit that we don't really need to worry about. That's effectively how they're going to kind of say it. They're going to say, well, hold on, you don't need to see the departures lounge, really. You don't see the check-in desks. So we didn't put it in, which is fair enough. Through the underpass, out the other side to the departures area. We have an area here for people, not in this section actually, interestingly enough. We've got this section here though, haven't we? Sam, have a good one. Market Street Bistro. Yeah, I mean that texture is really rubbish, isn't it, again? They've done some beautiful detailing. This is kind of what I don't understand sometimes with developers. Even that is a bit weird looking, isn't it? Very 2D. And then they've gone into the effort of making this really intricate, quite stunning roof wall design here, which is really nice. Look at that. That's a hell of a lot of effort right there. Really nice bit of work there. They've gone into that level of detail, at least just increase the resolution of the signs and things below it, because people are going to naturally come in to look at that, and then they look down and see blurry textures, and they might just feel a little bit let down by that, I suppose. I don't know. It's got really nice parts, hasn't it? And then some bits that leave a little bit to be desired. Rishi saying, well, they did make the effort. I do get where you were coming from, but if they detail everything from inside to outside with the highest resolution textures, only you with your 4090 can run it. I get the point. I'm not saying it's rubbish at all. I'm just saying they've kind of missed a good shot with nice texturing around some key features. Some of it's really nice though. Look at this. The advertisement boards as well. Working down the concourse. We'll go back to our aircraft. I think, yeah, it's only available with Island Sim, Pack Sim, I think. What, Pacific Island Simulation, I think they're named. I think their developer's name is.
Solid traffic, United 5699 entering 16 left, departing to the south.
GSX, Hitesh. That's the one you're thinking of. 49 Whiskey saying, the only thing about high resolution is the impact of performance. Yeah, there's always that balance to be made, isn't there? I think for what it is, it's a very nice scenery. I just think maybe for it, the price is a bit too high. I don't know. That's the overriding people's kind of opinion in the chat so far, at least from what we've been saying, is that it's $25 US plus plus tax, or what, roughly, isn't it, by an estimate? So it's a fair bit of money, but then it is a huge airport with some really nice detail put into it as well. So I'm not sure. I think, is it about 20 quid, £20? It's not awful for the scenery, is it? And if you're going to use that scenery a lot, then it's definitely well worth getting then in that sense, isn't it? So we look to see what, just in this corner here, to see what the nighttime textures look like. It's all well and good leaving stuff in like 2D or low res, but you've got to actually make the effort of nighttime emissives and things too. Ooh, look at that. Rishi's saying the price is indeed way too high. Some of these sceneries are priced way too high. I can buy an entire game for that money. That's pretty cool. Through Alpha 2, back to our aircraft. There she is. And the jetty's retracted itself. Yeah, it depends where you are as well, because as MPS Gaming in Sweden saying, the cost for him is really high once you factor in the tax and things. It then becomes too expensive for him, which is unfortunate because it's a beautiful bit of scenery, given the location as well. Even with some of the textures being a little bit loose, leaving a bit to be desired, but the area that it surrounds and the vastness of the airport makes up for that, I think. And all round, actually, I think they've done quite a nice job with it. But the scenery that it's situated within enhances the experience of the scenery add-on itself, if that makes sense. But it's always interesting to hear your thoughts as well throughout the stream. Massive thank you to everybody who has flown along today. If you do want to purchase any of the scenery, You can find Calgary in the link in the description for the live stream. If not, if you want to purchase Salt Lake City, you'll have to Google it and go direct to their website, Pacific Islands Simulation. Keep an eye on the channel. No stream tomorrow, unfortunately. I've got some family stuff to attend to. But we're looking at streaming on Sunday. We're going to be in the BAE 146-300 cargo for some Qantas freight ops out of Ayers Rock all the way back to Orbex Melbourne for the first time since release, actually, since our very special preview that we did with Orbex just prior to the Melbourne release for MSFS. Very exciting indeed. It's going to be tough to get stuck into that aeroplane once again, for sure. But I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully you guys can join me on Sunday for a really good bit of fun and a great stream. But in the meantime, as always, massive thanks for watching. Welcome to all of our new subscribers as well that have hit that shiny red button down below. Hit like before you head off. And I'll see you guys in Ayers Rock on Sunday. 1200 UTC, I think, roughly, but check the stream time. Check our Discord server in the live streams tab for the exact time for the stream. But yeah, hit the like before you head off. Enjoy the weekend ahead, and I'll see you very soon. Take care. Thanks for watching.
Great stream, guys. See you soon, mate. Thanks for that. See you guys.